What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I'm watching this guy Nicholson and Alvarez fight right now. But that's not who I want to talk about, and I'm not doing the live, so here we go. Basically, I want to talk about Caleb Plant versus David Benavides. So this is a fight that, first off, at least we know that this fight's happening, which is more than we can say for other fights that we want to see. This fight, it's funny to me how you notice like these guys when they fight Caleb Plant, they act like they have such a bitter hatred towards Caleb Plant, but like it's a thing where there's no history. Well, Benavides and Plant, they do have a history. It was a couple of years ago where they were in a gym, and I remember Benavides and his brothers, you know, basically tried to punk and bully Plant. I thought that was a weak move. Definitely was a weak move. Especially when other people are taking shots at fighters and getting involved. It doesn't make a difference if they're fighters or not. It's just the point of, you know, you and that particular fighter are the ones who's going to fight. And this is all a psychological thing. And people may not look at it this way, not really realize it, but the reason that these fighters, they come up with this hatred and they act like they hate a guy so much, they actually feel like they need that as a confidence booster, and they're trying to basically discourage the opponent. They're trying to get in their head and then make them feel intimidated. There's no reason for anybody outside of the two fighters to get involved or punch anybody. Like it just like everything that people try to say and do to try to make a fight happen. If two guys are worthy, the fight will have interest based on that alone. You don't need all this extra nonsense. The fight, a lot of people, that would pretty much ask me how do I think the fight is going to go. I don't know. I expect Caleb Plant to stick to his game plan, boxing move like he does, sit down on the shots when he want to throw his power shots, and not fight off of his ego. Now Benavides, on the other hand, maybe he'll be smart enough to fight his fight. I don't think that he needs. I think between the two, Benavides, I think he's going to try to bring that pressure, okay, and try to walk Caleb Plant down. I think if he tries to just stay on the outside and outbox Caleb Plant, he's rangier, longer, taller, but Caleb Plant is a slick fighter, and that might not be the best thing for him. I think he needs to come in behind his jab, a power jab, come in behind that power jab, try to punish Caleb with shots. Benavides is not a good fighter going backwards. Now, if they're working on at some point using a strategy where they are trying to push him back, who knows? So I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. I know I could look at what they do and think of what each guy may try to do. You never know. I don't know. I just want to see a good fight. I don't know who's going to win the fight. I really don't care to even ponder on it too much. I just want to, we'll see what happens when it happens. Between the two, and then we're not going to talk about Charlo. We're not going to talk about Canelo. We haven't even had this fight yet. Once we get a winner, we still don't know what's going to happen. They're saying that the winner will become the mandatory for Canelo. Now, the only thing I will say, excuse me, in regards to Canelo is this. If he's holding on to this whole, I'm not going to fight a Mexican, if Benavides wins this fight and Canelo vacates his title, it's definitely not going to be a good look, not just for Canelo, but for boxing in general. Because in this sense, in a way, because you look at it this way, people are going to think it's okay to just not fight someone because they don't feel like it for whatever reason. But then too, if that was to happen, and then say Benavides got the belt off of a forfeit or something, whatever? Or do they put him in there with a number one, another contender, and they, who knows, right? But does Benavidez get the belt and then hold it hostage, or does he get the belt and just say, no, I'm not going to turn fighters down. I don't care where they're from. I'm here to fight the best fighters. We never know what's going to happen, what twists and turns boxing is going to take. But I just feel like between Benavidez and Caleb Plant, it's like it's finally gonna happen. I don't care about all the who did what, why the fight didn't happen 2 years ago, 3 years. We don't care. We already heard all these different stories. We for all the people that still are here complaining and making videos about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, wasting your time, still talking about Tyson Fury versus whoever, because I told you guys, even back when he first was making these videos talking about fighting against Derek Chisora and the other, I don't even remember the guy's name. That's how irrelevant this guy is. I told you guys then, there's no guarantee that we're going to get Tyson Fury versus Usyk. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen. And the way the whole situation went down between he and AJ, it was like, nah, this is what you call scheming and plotting. No, this wasn't. I remember, just listening and watching it. I did videos about it. It just felt wrong. And for all the people that, but it's this person's fault. No, but it's his fault. Oh, but it's his fault. That's not going to make the fight happen. And the reality is, we still haven't got anything confirmed about Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Here's the funny thing, right? It's February. March is next month. Do you guys think that if we haven't got the fight by now, all of a sudden, the last minute, they're going to, for Undisputed, Fury versus Usyk, let's make it happen this month? No. It's not going to happen that way. I told you guys, there's no guarantee, and we don't know who the opponent's going to be next. When you want something, you go after it. When you want something, you don't say things like, come on, Joyce, in case I don't get the little ugly little man, me and you, let's get it on, Joyce. All that bull crap. We can all get involved and have a Royal Rumble. And the crowd is just eating this nonsense up. I told you guys, even before all of that, whenever you say, in case I don't get this fight, you pull out of a fight and then say, I was so disappointed that I didn't get the fight, when you're the one putting these time frames and stipulations to try to, let's go. But then you want to take your sweet time. So then you hear from one side, I signed the contract. We did everything we were supposed to. We're waiting for the other side. I mean, there's no guarantee and nothing. I've heard so many weird stories about Tank and Garcia situation that I don't even want to talk about that. This is exactly what I'm saying. So with all of this nonsense of people saying one thing, and regardless to what they say, the fight doesn't actually happen, well, at least we know we're getting Caleb Plant and Benavidez. And this is how boxing has been for a long time now. If you get something good to happen, expect a domino effect of nonsense afterwards before you get something else good to happen. So when you get a fight like this, at least we know that this fight is going to actually happen, unless something stupid comes up. But the fight is set. It's on. It's supposed to take place in March. There ain't nothing about Usyk versus Tyson Fury. And that's when the fight was said to have happened. And no, you're trying to fight guys before you fight for Undisputed. You're actually trying to make other fights in between that. You really thought Terrence Crawford was going to go fight David Benavides and come right back to fight Spence like he said that was supposed to happen? You really think that that's the way it was going to go? This is a business, man. You put your body through hell. Boxing is a grueling sport. So for the fans who sit back talking about what should happen and what they think is going to happen, you're not the one in there. And you don't, especially if you never fought, you don't train, you don't do any of, you don't know what it's like. These guys do not want to just get in there with just anyone. And then as you start to get older, you're trying to get to a certain price point. You know you can't do this forever. And it's like, okay, they become strategic. And you know what? No matter how much you like certain fighters, a lot of them lie about why the fight didn't happen or what their intentions were. let's just be honest. If someone came to me, okay, and you know, there's a lot that goes in the situation, so it's easy to say one thing, but let me tell you, if someone came to me and said, Aries, we're offering you $10 million, you know, to fight Tyson Fury, okay? And between him and Usyk, I'll put them as number 1 and 2 in the heavyweight division, right? But let's say popularity's sake, they say they're going to offer me $30 million to fight Anthony Joshua. Who the hell do you think I'm going to fight? And people are going to say, "Oh, why would he choose Joshua coming off of a loss?" Or, "Oh, Tyson Fury's a better challenge than AJ." Or, Usyk beat it, yeah, but they're not offering me $30 million. Now, I go knock out Anthony Joshua. Hey, guess what? That offer still stands with Tyson Fury. Well, no, because you're going to want more money. And we're not willing to pay you more because even though you just made $30 million, well, Tyson Fury is the biggest, you know, anything to keep the fight from happening. So now you want me to accept bullshit terms. Well, your own manager says you make in your next fight what you made in the previous fight. So you give me $30 million or no? Because that bullshit, hey, $10 million is a lot of money, right? But just the whole point. You're not making this fight by yourself. Okay? I'm worth the money. So you pay me what I made in my last fight or we have no fight. I'm not scared of this motherfucker. It's just principles. Now, guess what? Tyson Fury's knocked out Deontay Wilder. But say all of a sudden, hey, Aries, they willing to pay you another $30 million to fight Wilder. Now I go knock out Wilder. Guess what? My stock goes up even higher. So now my people come to me and say, "Hey, Aries, listen, man, you made $30 million, right? That's $60 million back, you know, all together for you 2 back-to-back fights for $30 million. We want to put a card together. The main event is going to be you and let's say Frank Sanchez." Now, Frank Sanchez is not a big, well-known name right now, but just say, now I beat Frank Sanchez. Boxing purists, no, Frank Sanchez is a solid fighter, and Aries, he went there and manhandled him, and they made it look easy. Guess what? The Daniel Dubois, the F.A. Jabas, the Joe Joyces, all these other guys that's out here, right? Who's the next fight that I can have where I'm going to get that kind of money? That's how this shit works. People don't understand that. That's how this shit goes. So now you telling me Tyson Fury saying, going around, jumping on YouTube, this guy doesn't want to fight me, he's a bum. Aries is running scared, he knows he can't beat me. Nah, Fury, I'll knock you the fuck out too. See, the problem is you don't want to pay me what I'm worth. You talking $10 million and I just racked up $60 million. Then just beat Frank Sanchez for another $30 million. That's $90 million. And you talking about $10 million? Yeah, it's a legacy fight, but if you gave a fuck about legacy, you give me what I'm worth. You can't make this event without me. You understand? Now, if I just went and made $30 million without you, that proves I don't need you to make $30 million. And this is what people don't understand. This is how this shit goes. So no, you're not going to come over there. I'm not desperate for that fucking $10 million. I'm putting my body through the same grueling shit. Whether it's 10 million, 1 million, 3 million, 30 million, 300 million, right? So you think that I'm going to turn my money down because I'm worried about you going, "Oh, he's ducking." "Oh, he's cherry picking." No. It's business. No, it's not cherry picking. It's business. The problem is the fighters are not honest enough to say what I just said here. So they want to point the finger and make it look like it's something else. Because they know now, they say it's because of the money or it's this and that. No, they're going to sit up here and make excuses. Well, at least we know Floyd Mayweather. We know. He was, no, fuck this. I'm the A side. I call the shots. It's going to be my way or the highway. Because when I had to do shit y'all bullshit way and accept y'all bullshit terms, nobody was going easy on me. So I had to become the A side and put up with bullshit terms and a lot less money. So you don't, it's very easy, all this legacy. Shit is changing. Okay, it's always been about money from way back. Nobody fights just to fight. You want money. You want to get paid. This is your occupation. So this is how this goes. So for us to to finally the fight to actually happen between Caleb Plant and Benavides, that's a fight I want to see. That's definitely a fight I want to see. And like I said, we're not going to start talking about all these other Charlos and all these other possible opponents because we don't know how things are going to go. Demetrius, Andre, and all these other. We'll see how things happen. And that's the one thing about boxing, that's for sure. Nothing is for sure. And you got to always understand, it's one fight at a time. The problem is people get all excited and start using their imagination. Oh, yo, he should fight next. And then this, oh, yeah, you have to be lit. Hey, slow down. Just cool. You're fantasizing. You don't know that this is going to happen. Slow it down. Relax. Relax. It's as simple as that. So, that's a good fight. We got some good fights tonight, with the ladies. And then, I'm pretty much, I don't know, probably wind up doing those videos tomorrow morning or something. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. But at the end of the day, that's a fight that, yeah, it could have happened a long time ago, but no, it didn't happen, when it first could have happened, but we're getting it in March. So this is two of the top guys in the division. And you basically just, hey, listen, we got something to look forward to in terms of that fight. This fight tonight, I'm sitting here watching. I'm in my house. I'm in the comfort of my own home. I'm not, usually I'll go somewhere and, depending on how I feel. So I'm not on the phone. I don't have nobody in my house right now. Just me and my son. One of my sons. We're here. And I'm sitting here enjoying the fights. So I just took the time to do these videos. We'll see how things go. I don't know if I'm gonna do a video about Nicholson. If I would have did a live, it would have been easier because I don't like to do videos about people that people don't really know or talk about, because then there's not really much of a response. People are like, "Ooh, I don't know who that is." So, why am I wasting my time to do that? I did the video about Ramla Ali's victory tonight. Hopefully, people react to that video and Ramla Ali starts to get some notoriety because she is a good fighter. So this is the second video I'm doing tonight. Caleb Plant versus Benavides. That's a fight I'm looking forward to. And again, it's not about just take what they give us type thing. No, because like I said, it doesn't bother me on a personal level. But to, create content and to have love for the sport of boxing like I do, it's more exciting for me to talk about something that we know is going to actually happen versus just talking about what we want to see. And the reason why we talk about what we want to see so much, a lot of it is because we're not getting the quality fights that we should be getting. And the other side is a lot of people are just greedy. They just want more and more and more and more. They think the second you think of a particular fight, it's supposed to happen. And they start making videos. And you have a lot of content creators out here that just make videos lying to you guys. Breaking, whoa, must see, such and such versus such and such. And you watch the video and realize there's nothing stating that this fight is going to actually happen. So now if you think back all the way back to when I was telling you guys, there's no guarantee we're going to get Usyk versus Fury or Usyk, Fury versus AJ. And again, this guy was trying to fight two different people, Tyson Fury. Then all of a sudden Usyk makes a comment about fighting Deontay Wilder. Wilder's talking about fighting Usyk. He's talking about fighting Fury a fourth time. Then he says the number one person on my list is Anthony Joshua. Not too long ago, we heard Eddie Hearn say he wants Anthony Joshua to fight at least 3 or 4 times this year. Then all of a sudden, you wind up hearing, Deontay Wilder say the same thing. He want to fight at least 3 or 4 times. And like I told you guys, if these guys wasn't doing this in their prime, you think they're going to do this now? No, not going to happen. It's just talk. I want to fight Anthony Joshua in Africa. Now, so far, I've heard Anthony Joshua may be fighting Zhilei Zhang. Then I'm hearing Jermaine Franklin. So I don't know. We just hear these guys, the promoters, and I've noticed, too, like Eddie Hearn says one thing, and then Anthony Joshua says something different, like in terms of how he sees things and what he wants to do. So honestly, and Anthony Joshua says he loves fighting, he has love for the sport. I believe he does, but I believe because of his success, and he doesn't have to. It's not like I have to fight. I'm broke. No. I just feel like him being successful outside of boxing as well. Sometimes, a lot of times, a fighter they might have it in here for something, but that desire, that passion, is not that strong. But the love for it is there. You understand? The love for it. It's just like you love your kids, right? And then you picking them up and playing around with them and throwing them up in the air and pushing them on swings, and then they grow up. You still love them. Then you become an old man or an old woman. You can't do the things you used to do. You understand? So it's not that you don't stop because you don't love them no more. It's just certain things you just do differently. It's the same thing with something that you're doing. You get to a point where it's just like, man, I'm a rich multimillionaire. I have successful businesses outside of boxing. I want to get back in there, but what's holding you back? It's you. You heard what Deontay Wilder said. He said when they was asking about how much did you miss boxing when you're sitting back watching these guys fight, and how much did that make you want to get back in there? He said, I mean, really, I didn't miss boxing. He said I really wasn't feeling it. I did videos about that, and that's what I was saying. If Deontay is not feeling it, he need to walk away or just hold off until he feel it again. Because if you have to force it, that's how you go in there and lose to a guy that you normally should have beat. And he came out and said that he really didn't miss boxing. He said he's good outside of boxing as well. So you understand that desire is just not there. Their words say one thing, but their actions show you different. So it's like, yeah, I want it, but it's like if you go to the gym, you want to do it. Your mind is like, yeah, but your body's like, nah, come on, give me a rest. It just happens. Where sometimes you just don't feel certain things. And, people can talk all this shit they want, but when you're getting punched in the ribs and face and the head, and you're punching people and sweating and bleeding, and you understand what I'm saying? It takes a strong-minded person to push themselves through that. And when you get to the point where it's like you got to regroup, it happens. So, just saying, I don't think that hunger is like it was in Anthony Joshua before. Not just Anthony Joshua, all of them. Because they all talking, I want to fight this guy. They pointing the finger about why the fight don't happen. But if you look at them, they're all doing the same thing. Don't fight for a whole year and a half, but come back and, I want to fight 3 times this year. I want to stop it. They're not, you want to, but you're not going to. So that's just the way things happen in boxing. So really, it's like one thing you can't do in boxing is look for long term in terms of you like this particular fighter and then you have in your head the hit list, who you should go. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And again, the whole point is, let's just say, look at it this way, right? If a job was paying you $50 an hour and it was 5 miles from your house, there was another job paying you $20 an hour. It was, 15 miles from your house. Based on pay, which job would you take? Now, it have to be some intangibles that really, really suck to make you turn down 50 an hour to take 20 an hour, right? So think about it. Now let's switch it around. 5 mile radius says 20 miles. $20 an hour. 15 miles away says 50 an hour. You might, I'm gonna take that 15 miles and get that 50, right? But would you go that far to take less? That would be something if it's like you really like what you're doing, and it's like I don't care about the money. You understand what I mean? I don't really care. I'm good. I know how to manage my money and whatever. It would have to be something like where the $50 an hour job. It's a lot of BS that comes with it. But I mean, just normal circumstances. But it's just a different pay rate. You wouldn't turn that 50 down. This is what I'm saying. People are looking at it because it's a sport They looking at boxing like they fail to realize this punishment you're taking. These guys don't want to have to constantly go through that, man. I mean, and it's sad because I fought with guys, and when you talk to somebody, and if you don't know anybody like this, then you can't relate to it on a physical, like from experience. You can look at Ali, Terry Norris, Riddick Bowe, James Toney, other fighters, but I mean, when you personally are on the phone or face to face with someone, and that shit hurts, man. It just is like, damn. Even if they made the money and their family's taken care of, but why do you have to suffer like that? Just watching that, and imagine, guys ain't make nothing. You understand what I'm saying? The world don't know them, and they're walking around here, brain can't speak, and so it's a lot, man. I stood there and watched people piss blood. Seen that been back in the locker room while guys were vomiting after a fight, and it's a lot that people don't understand. And that's why it's so easy as a fan or a fanboy to yap, but you're not speaking from experience. What I'm telling you, I know how this situation works. I know how these things go. So when it starts becoming a money issue, and like I always tell you guys, everybody talks about the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. No, they're not following Floyd's blueprint, because Floyd put the fucking work in, bust his ass to get to that kind of money. You think that Floyd was making $30 million, 32, 35 before he fought De La Hoya? You think Floyd was getting that? No, nothing like that. So these guys want the money, but they want to skip through the hard work, and they want the ego. So they're proud of their little 2.5 million or whatever they getting, and then 1.5 million, and then I'm the A side, right? And then they have weak resumes. And even when you get a strong resume, but it's like, I do have a strong resume, but I'm going to duck him. Why? Because I don't like him personally. Or I don't have to like you. That give me more reason to punch you in your face, break your jaw. That give me more reason to want to do it, right? So, just want to spend some time talking about this with y'all. And again, we'll see what happens come March between Benavides and Plant. And the lead up to it, hopefully, man, they keep it professional. Man, Benavides' mouth is like, he just goes off and say a bunch of stuff, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's gonna be fireworks, and like I said, they don't need to do all of that. But however it goes, at the end of the day, I just feel like if the fighters focus more all across the board, every weight class, the management, these promotional companies, all that, if they focus more on putting fights together, quality fights together, they wouldn't have to do all this circus charade shit. It just becomes a thing of all this hatred. I can't stand this guy. I hate this guy. Oh, he's this, he's that. And then, let me tell you, if you listen to David Benavides, I like him as a fighter. I like Caleb as a fighter. But if you listen to Benavides, one thing that you will realize, right? He clearly said, Caleb Plant is afraid of me. He knows I'm going to knock him out. Right? He said he's a nobody. He said all these things to discredit him, but all in the same breath says, it's not going to be easy, but you just said you're going to knock him out. You just said he's scared of you. He knows he's going to lose. And basically, you called him pussy. A pussy wouldn't last with me. So, just to say things like a kid, just, you pussy, just calling the person name, that's, like I said, I've always been the kind of person that punch you right in your mouth while you're yapping. Like, just don't touch me, don't get in my face. But when you jump up like you want to do something, I'm not hiding behind security or, no, let's go. Because I'm not bluffing. We can go outside, whatever. And that's why, for me, it's like that stuff doesn't attract me. It's just like, and you're not going to do nothing. You're going to do all this jumping up, acting like you want to fight. Then you're going to let some little fat pot belly out of shape fucking bodyguard put his arm out, or a little 65-year-old man stick his arm out, 120 pounds, and you can't get past him. Like, stop it, man. All this anger, I hate this guy. Nah, the sport doesn't need that. The sport needs professional-minded guys that know this is what we do for a living. We need to fight each other. We need to get these people that watch and pay their hard-earned money what they deserve. But nah, it's all of the trash talk, the insults, all the cursing and swearing. If you win, hey, no problem. If you lose, then you look like a fool. If you lose a hard fought fight and it was really just a battle, it was like, hey, both salute both. Okay, but the trash talking is not going to work. I don't think there's nothing that David Benavides can say that's going to scare Caleb Plant, that's going to intimidate him. Caleb, basically, he's not the kind of person that gets rowdy and loud and start jumping up and all that. He might shoot some sarcasm back at you or whatever, but actually, if you listen to him, he gives props to his opponents. But his opponents are like, he's a pussy, he's soft, he's scaleless, and it's like, okay, then you shouldn't have a problem beating him then. And let's be real, him and Canelo had a good fight. And what happened against Canelo, he got tired. And I told you guys before, he's going to have to be in tip-top shape to go the full 12 rounds. Because if he starts to get tired, Canelo's going to take advantage of that, and Canelo's going to break him down and get him out of there. And that's just what happened. Now, there's no need to say if he didn't get tired, because he did. So just saying if that fight would have went to 12 rounds, we don't know what would have happened. Does Canelo get the decision? Does Plant win? No, we don't know. We know what did happen though. So if there's a rematch, like say if he beats Benavides now and he fights Canelo next, well, he knows what happened the first time, and he has to fix that. And like I tell people, it's not so much he don't hit hard enough to keep Canelo up. No, the problem is his gas tank. So he's not throwing punches to where he need to keep Canelo at bay. And look, this is why I tell people, y'all can talk all that Canelo's way 10 times better now than he was. Bullshit. He's not no bullshit. It just shows you the greatness of Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd, especially at that weight, is not like a devastating puncher. It's volume, it's accuracy. And he didn't walk through Floyd. And Floyd had him. I don't want to hit him about no experience level, because yeah, he had experience and all that. But what I'm saying is, if he couldn't punch, Canelo would have walked through him. You got these big punches that he's fighting at 175, 168, 160, and you're going to tell me that a guy who came from lightweight was able to keep him at bay? Because, it was the experience. It was everything. Floyd had respectable power. Floyd picked him apart and made it look super easy. Okay? And the thing is, who has he fought that you can say is on the Floyd level, Floyd Mayweather level? So people even trying to say that was Caleb. No, Caleb doesn't fight like Floyd. He's a smart fighter, but he doesn't fight like Floyd. There's a difference between the both of them. And let's just be real. The point what I'm making, along with how people are trying to take credit from Floyd by talking about, this Canelo was 10 times better than that Canelo and all that. Understand something. Bevel, okay, who we all said is a good basic boxer. He's disciplined. What did he do special? What did he do special? The difference with Bevel is he can crack. He has more than respectable power. And when Canelo was coming in, he was getting hit. And Canelo was like, okay, that shit hurt. Let me find another way to get in. That's how that went. And Bevel stuck to his game plan. And Bevel did what he had to do. He didn't deviate away from that. He stayed with it. Just like Floyd did. And him and Bevel are two different type of fighters. But at the end of the day, for one, you can't be afraid of nobody. You got to go in there and fight. If you're afraid, don't get in there. But two, nobody really thought Bevel was going to win. Everybody was saying the same thing. Well, Bevel's not that guy, man. He's too basic, too straight up, nothing special about him, right? And he did what the people thought he wouldn't do. And he beat him. But guess what? If you compare the two, Floyd was putting shit on him. Floyd was catching him with everything, man. I mean, it's like he just couldn't really miss. Even still, here's a guy that came from lightweight. So when people talk about, yeah, but Canelo went up in weight, okay, so let's remember, Floyd was 37 years old, about to be 37 years old, or whatever, 37 or 30, yeah, either he was 37 or about to be 37, or however it went. But bottom line, he's 37, and he went up in weight to fight a bigger, stronger, stronger, younger guy, right? Who people say, who people were saying was going to, his youth, his speed, his poise, his professionalism in his mind, how he's so patient. It's going to be too much for Floyd. Well, I don't want to hear nothing about age. Like I said, you got Shakur Stevenson, who punished Jamel Herring. Like he made it look easy. And who, before that fight, I didn't hear anybody saying Shakur Stevenson was going to take it to him. They like, he going to school that young boy. Jamel Herring ain't no joke. Y'all sleeping. That dude, he ain't no joke. Yeah, neither is Shakur Stevenson. The same way, we got a guy named David Haney, who was calling Lomachenko since he was 20. Been calling him out. Okay? Now he's undisputed. 23 years old. Just like Canelo was when he fought Floyd. You know? So all these people that make up these excuses, like I say, man, the you know, the Wilfredo Benitez's, the Mike Tyson's, the Muhammad Ali's. Let's stop with all this excuse stuff, man. Like, this is boxing. We don't make excuses. And one thing about real fighters, the excuses that the fanboys make, they're like, that's bullshit, man. But see, you got fighters that they'll go with those excuses. Why? Because it make them feel better to know, I got these fans fooled. Okay. Yeah, they think I lost because this dude had no padding in his glove, or this dude did this, or yeah, I was too young. That's what it was. Yeah. He took advantage of me. I was a baby. So, anyway, Caleb Plant, Benavides, talk to me in the comment section. Who y'all got? How y'all think it's going to go? Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.